I'm Logan Crawford, and right now on Spotlight, we're diving deep into Joss Bernet's thrilling new novel. It is called The Negative. This book takes us on a gripping journey where politics, faith, and conspiracy all collide, creating a storyline that mirrors our own tumultuous times. Join us right now as we unravel the layers of intrigue that link a US president, a revolutionary pope, and a mysterious shroud disappearance. We're delighted to have this very talented author join us here today on Spotlight. We thank our team at Prime 7 Media for helping us put him in the spotlight today. And we ask viewers like you to support writers like him by subscribing to our channel and by purchasing his amazing book. The links are below this interview. Joss, great to see you here today on Spotlight.
Hello, thank you for the invitation. I'm great to be here.
My pleasure. Wonderful to have you here. Tell us a little bit about your inspiration or motivation to write this novel.
Listen, I wrote in the recommendation at the beginning of the book because I recommend the book to all those who have asked me the question, if you could tell one story, just one, which would it be? And my answer is this book. Because it was very important for me to tell this story, because I feel that the subject matter of this book is extremely important. It deals with topical, serious issues, people feeling hopeless in their own lives, disillusioned, disoriented, without compass, you know? So, and I think the current state of the world, it's very serious. We have serious problem in our world right now. Primarily from a spiritual point of view, for the reasons mentioned above. And everybody is looking to politicians for a solution, for a better world, for all. But the problem is that they are looking to someone else. The solution is within us, within all of us. We have reached the point where it is now clear that without spirituality, mankind will not survive the 21st century. Literally, we have become so far removed from real human values, from God, from faith, that it cannot go on. And it's just as well that it has become clear that humanity is lost if it doesn't repent. We have a choice, and that's why I write this book. We need an inner revolution, not a classical revolution or war like in the past, or even more, an inner evolution, not revolution. The solution is in us, in each of us individually, and not in the masses, in the crowd. If everyone makes their own changes, then the world will be better. That's why I write this book.
Everything you say, it truly rings true. Look at the state of the world today, particularly in the Middle East and Iran. Tell us about your thoughts on that section of the world and the turmoil there.
The current situation is very worrying. I started writing the novel 4 years ago, and it was already clear to me that Iran is the main issue today. Therefore, the novel is based on a conflict involving Iran. And of course, Israel is also a topic, and even Russia. The world is facing a radical geopolitical change. So it is more important at all times to be aware that the main leaders of the world are not only using their brains, but also their souls. I write in the novel that our brain is a highly overrated organ, the essence of which is the soul, the intuition, and humanity. The latter seem to be left out of the decision-making.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Talk to us a little bit about America's current role in the world.
Listen, America, it's a main issue. America will continue. I'm sure, and I think that it's no secret. America will continue to play a decisive role in the development of the world. This has been proven several times in the past. Just think of the First and Second World Wars, and the development of the Cold War and the end of the Soviet Union. None of this would have been possible without America's involvement. This is why the American election in next November this year is extremely important. because not only the fate of America may depend on it, but the fate of the world. From this point of view, this novel is also very relevant, I believe.
You're talking about the 2024 election. It's very,
yeah,
very important.
Because you know, the novel is about the times we live in. Uncertainty, fear, and loss are everywhere. And it's as if people all over the world have lost their faith. They no longer believe in anything, and so they believe everything they hear from false prophets and rogue leaders. The individual, you know, I'm sure that the individual is smart and sensitive, but the mass, the crowd, is always insensitive and stupid. Because, for example, the Trump phenomenon, for example, it's not a question of whether Trump is a good president, a populist, or a crook. He's just one politician among many, only louder, more vulgar, and his language and communication unusually crude. But the question is not who is the president or what his behavior is like. It's true, too, that my leader in the novel, it's very similar to Trump, and certain things in the world can only be done by this type of president. From the point of view of the story, he's a very grateful character.
Yeah. Sometimes it takes a bulldozer to get things done. And that's what you have certainly in President Trump. He's very forceful. Like you said, he's not a classic politician, but he could be the man for the times, that's for sure.
Exactly. So maybe, I don't know, but the issue is that it's very important, this election.
Oh, agreed. 100% agreed.
And that's why I think that it's very topical, this novel.
Absolutely. Absolutely. No, it truly hits home. And like I said, it rings true on so many points. Talk to me a little bit about the reader. Should the person who read this book be a believer? And also, you created a Jewish American Pope. Tell us about that.
Yeah, it's a very good question, because it is not at all essential that the reader be a believer. Also, if he is, he can more easily identify with the story. But the point is that to approach the book with an open mind and curiosity. You have to be a sensitive and thinking person. That's the point. So why does an American Pope of Jewish origin replace the current Pope in the book? This may be surprising at first, of course, but as I write in the book, the idea is not without precedent. Jean-Marie Lustiger, the former Archbishop of Paris in France, almost became Pope because Pope John Paul II wanted to see him as his successor and explained to the skeptics that it was time for God's vicegerent on earth to be a Jewish origin again after more than 2,000 years, because the first one was a Jew, St. Peter. And many people have forgotten today that the founders of Christianity were all Jews. And in the early days, the question was whether a non-Jew could be a Christian at all. In the book, the Vatican is given a lot of space, and also the story of Jesus through the Shroud of Turin, and also his possible imminent second coming. But I don't want to spoil the story any further. Let it be enough that the book story and ending are unexpected and surprising.
Absolutely. So many compelling elements throughout, and it's the elements of surprise that really keep the reader engaged. Let's talk a little bit about the state of the media in 2024. President Trump coined the phrase fake news. A lot of people believe that. Some of the press coverage you see today is unprecedented, where they seem to take sides, which was unheard of in American journalism heretofore. Tell us a little bit about what role media play, and do people still believe the media?
Yeah, because they have no choice. They look at media, they read, they hear something. So, but the media has changed radically in the last 15, 20 years. That is clear. It is enough to think that today everyone has a camera and a microphone and can communicate directly with the world, with all the world, and in a direct manner. In the old days, you remember that, there was newspapers, televisions, radios, and there was very little interactivity. Today, everyone is, if they want to be, a journalist or an opinion maker, a so-called influencer, you know.
Yeah.
Therefore, It is much easier to manipulate the masses, the crowd today. Unfortunately, many media today, the main media, are discredited because they either serve economic or political interest. Each side have this their media. Moreover, there is often the feeling that the truth is dead or even may never have existed. The young generation, the TikTok, Instagram, Facebook generation may not even understand what we are talking about now. Where in the world is it that the two truth-seeking journalists were able to bring down an American president? That's what the Watergate affair was about, you know. And they are saying in our country that too much information is deformation. Therefore, we have to be careful with the media today, what we believe and what we don't, because the media doesn't treat us carefully at all. And therefore, the book's third main character is the president of the major news channel, not by chance, of course.
Exactly. And most of these news channels today are owned by major corporations, so there's a huge conflict of interest right there, right off the bat. Joss Bernet has written a thrilling novel. It is called The Negative. This book takes us on a gripping journey where politics, faith, and conspiracy all collide. You will recognize the story as a mirror of modern times because so much of what takes place within the pages of this book are happening right now in the world and in the United States of America. Joss, thank you so much for joining us here today on Spotlight.
Thank you very much, Logan. Thank you.
I appreciate your time. To the folks at home, I'm Logan Crawford, thanking you for your time this time. Until next time on Spotlight.